Like all functions in the body, thoughts and perceptions come from the machine that runs us all, the brain. Psychological disorders are perceived from the frontal lobe, the area where we make plans and form judgments. One of those psychological disorders that affects planning and judging is anxiety. Sometimes anxiety can be good. It can help us remember to take careful precautions when it comes to dangerous activities. It can also be bad, making us overthink and overreact to certain situations. There are different types of anxiety: generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, phobias, obsessive compulsive disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Generalized anxiety disorder is when a person is constantly tense and uneasy for no apparent reason. They are restless, unfocused, out of control, and they often feel agitated. People with generalized anxiety disorder will often be jittery and on edge, have difficulty concentrating, and be sleep deprived. They are often worrying about nothing. Sigmund Freud, an Australian neurologist, used the term free-floating to describe this. Free-floating means that there is no link with a specific stressor or threat. Generalized anxiety disorder tends to be disabling, and a person's blood pressure may rise high above their normal levels. Studies show that 2/3 of those with generalized anxiety disorder are women. The next type of disorder, panic, is when a person experiences sudden episodes of intense dread. These people often live in fear of when a next attack might strike them. The awaiting of the next time anxiety might strike may lead to a panic attack, a sudden feeling of intense fear that something horrible is about to happen. Accompanying the scary event may be irregular heartbeat, chest pains, shortness of breath, choking, trembling, and dizziness. Like a tornado, this catastrophe may come into your home, create its destruction, and then disappear. But the memory will not be forgotten. Just as you feared the hurricane, fear itself placed a home inside your head, causing you to fear fear. Those with panic disorder who smoke are 2 times more at risk. Nicotine is a stimulant. Phobias, the third anxiety disorder, are when a person feels irrational and intensely afraid of a specific object or situation. The person is consumed. Consistent avoidance may lead to agoraphobia, the fear of again experiencing the dreaded tornado of anxiety. With agoraphobia, a person may fear being unable to escape or get help during an attack. This could cause them to avoid being outside the home, in a crowd, or on a bus. Social anxiety disorder, also known as social phobia, is the avoidance of going out in fear of being judged by others. Other phobias include specific phobias such as zoophobia, the fear of animals, entomophobia or insectophobia, the fear of insects, acrophobia or batophobia, the fear of heights, hemophobia, the fear of blood, and claustrophobia, the fear of enclosed spaces. Obsessive compulsive disorder is when a person is troubled by repetitive thoughts or actions. Actions like checking to see if the door was locked and repeated more than once in short time frames. Making sure all pencils on the desk are pointed upward and straight may also be a part of OCD. Doing this once or twice is normal. Doing these actions 10 times in a row is not. It can disrupt your daily tasks and distract you from other important work that needs to be done. Post-traumatic stress disorder is when a person has symptoms for weeks after a severely threatening, uncontrollable event. Symptoms of PTSD include recurring haunting memories and nightmares, numb feeling or social withdrawal, jumpy anxiety, and trouble sleeping. If If a person feels greater distress during the event of a trauma taking place, then the person is at higher risk of PTSD symptoms. And after a distressing event, 5 to 10% of people develop PTSD. Those who can move on after the severe stress have survivor resiliency. Women, again, are more likely to have PTSD, but because of the broad term of trauma, a deeply distressing or disturbing experience, some psychologists believe that PTSD is overdiagnosed. Of course, there are treatments such as therapies and medication to help cope and recover from PTSD and other anxiety disorders. There are also treatments that are meant to help but do just the opposite. For example, debriefing. Debriefing is when a person is asked to revisit the experience and vent their emotions. This is generally ineffective and can sometimes be quite harmful. To understand these anxiety disorders is to know that anxiety is both a feeling and a thought. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Freud's psychoanalytic theory proposed that people had repressed certain impulses, ideas, and feelings since childhood, and that those submerged mental energies sometimes leaked out in odd symptoms, such as repetitive nail biting or tapping of the fingers. Today, there are 3 modern perspectives for why we react with anxiety in certain ways. One of those perspectives was conditioning, which was tested by Ivan Pavlov, a Russian physiologist in the late 19th century. Conditioning can be classical, when a repeated conditioned stimulus receives a repeated unconditioned natural response. This may include stimulus generalization. Stimulus generalization occurs when a person experiences a fearful event and later develops a fear of similar events. Conditioning can also be operant, when the conditioned response receives an unnatural conditioned response. This reinforces phobias to continue. Another perspective of understanding anxiety disorders is cognition, when we learn many of our own fears by observing others through our senses. Our interpretations and expectations can shape our reactions. If we see someone jumping off a high platform, such as the 10-meter platform in the Olympics, we may feel something bad is going to happen. This may lead us to fear heights. Misinterpretations can develop into irrational beliefs. Swallowing a beverage down the wrong pipe may lead the person to think they are suffocating when they are not. Stubbing a toe may lead them to think they broke their toe when they have not. The last perspective of understanding anxiety is our biology. We inherit how we can react under certain circumstances from our ancestors. When we experience traumatic situations, our brain detects danger. When it continues to detect danger, when danger no longer exists, this produces anxiety. Danger is detected in our frontal lobe, the area where we make plans and form judgments. Though we may feel how we do due to our biology, our culture and our experience influence our reactions as well. Anxiety is a natural part of life. Without anxiety, there would be no worry. Without worry, there would be no motivation to do anything. Though many individuals have trouble with anxiety, it does not stop them from doing many amazing things.